So yeah, I went long, and I made over like 200 points within, I think it was a month or two, and I was up to 2 million. So
Yeah, I was going to say that's over 2 million, isn't it?
£10,000 a line. Yeah, yeah. So I actually hit 3.3 million. I was in long positions on the S&P 500, the Dow Jones, Euro USD, and pound dollar. So that I used to trade those two currencies and the two indices.
Wow.
So yeah, overall, and that was a running balance. I never closed it.
Welcome back to another interview. We got Raihan, a good friend of ours, and we met him out in Dubai as well. But gosh, he has got a story. He turned £10,000 into £3.3 million and then proceeded to lose it all. So it's going to be one hell of a story. And I think there's just so much to learn from his trials and tribulations, and to understand that success is not overnight. But if you kind of understand his story and where he's coming from now, there are so many nuggets to learn and learn from, and to hopefully expedite your trading journey. So enjoy the interview. Remember to like, share, and subscribe. And don't forget, we do have giveaways coming on for every interview. So watch to the end.
So what's happening, Raihan? Thanks for jumping onto the interview today. How you doing, bro? First of all,
I'm very well, man. Absolute pleasure to be on. Thank you for hosting me. I know we've tried to get this set up before Dubai, but here we are, man.
I know.
Later, and we're here.
Wow, we have a story to get into today. But before we do that, how was Dubai? Did you enjoy it?
Dubai was amazing, man. Saw you having a really good time.
Yeah, I was back to back, man. It was really, really busy. You were living trader lifestyle. You had the 720. You were going meeting people. You were trading, killing it.
No, one thing I learned is like Dubai's just so amazing for networking.
Mm-hmm.
I had a couple of meetings lined up with people, like people that I've met through my community. So they're really productive meetings, and yeah, it was amazing, man. Here's to leveling up. I know all those traders have come back, and we all want to level up. We've been in our chat saying, you know, what our goals are for next year, and I think we're all pumped. So
yeah, that's wicked.
Yeah.
We're going to dive into that in more detail. But for the people who don't know who you are, if you could explain just a brief introduction, kind of who you are, where you're from, and how you kind of got into trading, if you can start there.
Yeah, so I'm Raihan, aka the Euro Trader. I'm only on Twitter or X.
X.
So yeah, I'm from the UK, from Essex. Been trading, God, long time now. 2000 since I was 22, so 15 years. Got into it after uni. Well, about 5 years before uni, I got into trading. My uncle introduced me to it.
Nice.
And I was just hooked. There's one thing I haven't spoken about actually on a couple of interviews, which actually really got me hooked. It was, so I was 17 years old. I was in sixth form. And there was this City Trader course they were offering. And I was like, oh, this sounds amazing. Because like my uncle had just like started talking about trading at the time as well.
Yeah.
And so it at the end of it, you achieved a communication level 3 or something like that. So yeah, they just like taught you basic chart patterns and stuff. But the cool thing was we had a virtual 100 grand to trade.
Okay.
So we could buy stocks. So it's FTSE 100, FTSE 250, and AIM stocks, and we had a league within our class. I think that was for like a half term or a term we did it, and I was top of the league. Like I didn't really know what I was doing.
Hey, making money already at 17.
We had 100 grand virtual money, and I think just from that I got hooked to trading, and I was like, this is what I want to do. So yeah, I was only 17 then, so that was 20 years ago. And then for the next 5 years, just started learning everything I could with regards to technical analysis and the markets.
What was that training camp like? Like, was it just teaching you like the really basics of like fundamentals and stuff, or was you learning like macroeconomics and that kind of stuff? Like, what was you?
So actually, my degree, I've got a degree in business economics, so I learned micro and macro there.
Okay.
And then I did a master's in investment and finance.
Oh wow!
So so I was 22. So like I was prepped to go basically into a career of investment banking or like the treasury or risk.
Do you think that hindered you, by the way? Like,
what degree?
Because like in my personal opinion, I've met some other traders and people in the industry, because institutional trading and like points trading is investment banking is completely different from retail trading or hedge fund trading. They're all just fancy names in different aspects, right? Do you think? Of course there's benefits, and I think a lot of people can kind of think that, but I also believe that it can sometimes hinder to some degree. Do you think it did at any point? Just to kind of ask.
I was able to separate the two, but I agree
That's
with
good.
you. Probably going to piss off
See
some
what?
macro guys right now because, yeah, I know they think macro moves the markets like long term over a month. If you're taking positions like over a monthly time frame, yearly, yeah, macro matters. But I always say, like, I literally don't follow any macro. I was crap at economics. I got a degree in it, but I was shit at it. I was good at the stuff. So, like, stats.
Yeah.
The mathematical based stuff. When it came to writing essays and macro, I was shit. So for me, like, it's just purely technical and charts. I pride myself on being a chartist first. And yeah, that's all I am. I'm aware of news like releases and stuff. I know roughly what's going on with interest rates and all of that, but do I rely on it for my trading? Absolutely not. I trade on a 4-hour time frame though, so I don't need it. And most of the successful traders that I know that are in the industry, I think some of them do say they're fundamental based, but I don't see how you can be if you're trading a 5 or a 10 or a 15 or an hourly time frame. How can macro affect your trades? I'm not sure.
So, in my personal opinion, I don't know if you agree with this statement, is the reason why I don't do macros or fundamentals is because I tried to in the past, and what that does is it makes you overconfident on a certain bias. So let's just say, I know there's so many things we can talk about, but let's just say there's a bias. There is something that's going off that's driving the sterling into a higher move. Or actually, let's talk about Brexit. I actually was really confident Brexit was going to be negative for the GE because all outcomes made no sense. If we were going to leave the EU, we have to do our things like down to the pillar regulations. We have to get all these new regulations in place, which cost more money and more things and everything in place. However, when you're that confident, you are too blindsided by one movement and one side only for that direction. Whereas there's still technical prices to be hit, so it can just take you out. So you being stuck on one idea and being stubborn on one idea, I think fundamental creates that problem because like all these reasons are telling you like, yes, this economy is going to shit, but the markets might not actually react like that. Yes, like the sterling could be like bearish, but it could still be moving up and moving up and moving up and taking you out. So that's why charts and price levels and key levels and support resistance, doesn't matter what you say, the proof is in the pudding. Like price always hits these levels time and time again, and that's how you trade off of them, right?
Yeah, I always say like news follows charts, not the other way around when it comes to trading.
That's actually so true though.
yeah, it's true. Like you got people that have been bearish. Like I've known people that are bearish on euro for like last 20 years, 15 years. And I always say, even a broken clock's right twice a day. Like, you know what I mean? Like, it's like
people call it a crash, right? It's like, it's going to crash. You'd be saying, yeah, of course, one day it's going to do it.
And they call him parity. But they missed the 1,000 pip rallies, which, I called it back in April or May. I think we've got a WhatsApp group. I posted a weekly chart that I posted back a few months ago, and I called it from 05 and I said we're going to go 012s because that's what technicals will show me. Macro didn't agree. So that's an example where the charts do lead, and it did go to 12. We then sold off after that, but if you were just short, your position came back against you like 700 pips, and if that's going to go long, you're going to take a hedge or you're going to get out your short. So
exactly.
There definitely is a massive edge in charts.
Yeah, I think so too. And also they give you the key levels. And at the end of the day, I think, to kind of help these people who are watching this interview, at the end of the day, whatever works for you, as long as you're making money, that's all that matters. If it's fundamental, technical, whatever it is, as long as you're making money, you're getting payouts.
Yeah, exactly what I do works for me. So I keep doing it. I refine it. I work on that edge. To the point where I want to master it. I want to be the best. I focus on one pair. For anyone that doesn't know, I literally just trade Euro USD.
The Euro trader.
Yeah, exactly. One time frame. I've mastered. Well, I'm still refining and getting better, but I'm the best I've ever been. So one time frame. That's the 4-hour time frame. So one currency, one time frame, and I have. No, I have multiple. So I trade based on structures.
Okay.
So I have a journal. I call it my Bible, or it's like my framework. So like Elliott Wave kind of got me into it, but I've developed it and made it very mechanical and completely rules based. So I have multiple structures. I have microstructures and macrostructures.
Nice.
Microstructures are quicker, smaller moves. But when you have multiple microstructures together, it makes a macrostructure. of which I have two types. I have a macro 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, which always reverses 100%.
Oh, wow.
So these are developed by me, by the way. It's not Elliott Wave.
Yeah.
This is just based on candlesticks. So it's very specific, very rules based. And then the second macro structure is a 3-wave move, which I call the ABC.
Okay.
And they always retrace a minimum of the 50 to 61.8. And when we do the charts later, I'll actually show you an example of what I just traded recently. And I can show you multiple examples because I journal every single time those structures repeat. I journal it, I date it, I write in bullet points like what happened, where the entry is, where the exit is. And those same patterns on the euro repeat themselves over and over again. And I've got journals going back like to 2019 that says so. And EURUSD is the most technical currency pair on the planet.
I love it. That's the thing, though. Like, just to kind of rinse out and say to you guys, at the end of the day, a lot of these successful traits and traders, and Raihan's just saying the same thing. Journaling, like he might not have said journaling in a specific, but he's gone back to 2019. He's gone through his plan. He's actually rinsed and repeats this pattern recognition to some degree. And just keep knowing exactly his edge and his understanding to the market, which I think is so important in trading. You just have to understand what works for you. You versus you, me versus me. Now let's ride this back because we're going to go through your charts and like go through how you kind of trade and the whole strategy. Let's go. So you did these traders. You've obviously got your degree. Now you've got one hell of a story, which I kind of briefly know about, which we talked about. So let's go through that because I think that is going to help so many people because right now, a lot of people only see the wins, right? Like, yes, I just jokingly said you was in Dubai, you're networking, you were in the 720S, you got this, same thing with me. People see me like doing all these kind of things and it looks great. Like Dubai, right? From face value on Instagram, it looked like I was having the time of my life, but 2 hours sleep every single day, back-to-back meetings, just absolutely everywhere. So it's not always as it seems. And that's the theme of today. And that's why I respect you so much. And I love your story. And I watched the interview that you had. So if you don't mind diving in, like how did your trading journey go? And obviously, how did you go up and down through your obstacles to get to where you are now, essentially?
So firstly, I just want to say I completely agree with what you just said. Like we're on social media, we're like posting, we got funded 200K, got funded another 200. 1 million funded, 2 million funded. Here's my payout. I earned 100 grand in 7 weeks. But what you haven't seen is the 15 years before, the grind that it took for me to get to that stage. Everyone's posting their highlights. Don't compare your lowlights with our highlights because social media is just a highlight reel. There are a few people that keep it real and they post losses and when they're having down days, and I try to do the same. Like I say, lessons that I've taught, and when I've had a loss I try and be transparent and I just keep refining it and getting better. But to go back to my story, what you want the full version or the short version?
I think if you're going to go through the story, my main point of your story is how difficult it was for you. That's what I want to go through because, yet again, I think that's the highlight of this. It's just what you said, like the highlight reel. I love what you said. People just see us for what we're doing now. Like, yes, recently I just came back from Dubai and I'm nearly 1.5 million funded. We'll be 2.6 soon. But what about the 10 years before? What about the crying and all of that, depression and trauma? And I recently did a podcast and we just relived that trauma that someone else, which I don't want to spoil it, has had the same trauma as I did. And it made me cry in the interview. But the thing is, we all have our struggles. You watching right now, you have your struggle. I have my struggle. Raihan has a struggle. Even though right now we're in a better place and financially it's better, we still have our struggles. It's just life in general. So when you go through your story, it'd be nice just to know the struggles, the real pain that you had to go through, because I believe that on the outcome of that pain is who you are today. And you must be very proud of who you are. But let's go through that if you may, please.
So I started full-time at 22. So I came out of uni, did the master's in investment finance, said to my parents, I want to work for myself. Wanted to be like my dad because my dad owns a restaurant. And so I grew up with him being self-employed and seeing what that could, like how he provided for our family. And like my mum never had to work. I always look up to my dad and I always said I want to be like him. If I can be,
that's a proud dad moment.
If I can be half the person he is, like honestly, I've achieved. I'm happy. So they were very supportive of me, and I started trading. I can't remember like how it went. I think I was up and down for a couple of years, and then I I thought, okay, I've got 2 years experience. So I was 24.
Yeah.
So this was 2010. I was like, okay, I wanna take some risks now. I want more capital. I took a 10 grand loan out from Tesco. It was a Tesco finance loan, personal loan, and yeah, it was going like really well. Got to about 200k from that 10k.
Wow. In what time frame?
Within a few months. It wasn't long. Like it's so, but I just need like full disclosure. I didn't have risk management. I was good at getting into trades. I wasn't so good at getting out of position sizing, taking partials, where to exit. So, but I thought, okay, I had 2 years of trading. I was doing all right. Let's just go for it. I was young. I was dumb, inexperienced, naive. Greedy. I had big goals. I always wanted to be like a millionaire. That was my goal when I got into trading. I want to be like a multimillionaire. I think I had a copy of the what was it, the Asian Times Rich List when I was like 17 or 18 years old, and I saw all these people killing it from India and Bangladesh, and I was like, I want to be in that one day.
Yeah.
So that's why I knew like. And I love trading as well. Actually, it's my passion and hobby. I don't do it. I literally love it. I have to love it because I didn't make any money in it for 10 years.
Yeah, and then going insane. So so then you're 200k.
Yeah, so I got to 200k, and then I punted it all on a position on the S&P 500, and I went £10,000 a point long, and I had like 15 point stop. So if I'd have got stopped out, I'd have been left with like 50k out of that 200. And it worked. I had, I think the S&P was at 1,050 at the time, and I had targets at, 3,000. So yeah, I went long, and I made over like 200 points within, I think it was a month or two, and I was up to 2 million. So
yeah, I was going to say that's over 2 million.
£1,000 a line. Yeah. So I actually hit 3.3 million. I was in long positions on the S&P 500, the Dow Jones, Euro USD, and pound dollar. So that I used to trade those two currencies and the two indices.
Wow.
So yeah, overall, and that was a running balance. I never closed it.
Unrealized.
It was unrealized. Yeah, unrealized. I think I took about 50k out. That was all I took from that.
Wow.
So anyway, I was adding on the way up, and I was over leveraged. So as soon as it started retracing, I thought, oh, it's just going to go up forever in a straight line. As me and you both know, nothing goes up in a straight line forever, right?
Yeah.
So yeah, got to 1 million. I was telling everyone I'm a millionaire. I was making more than Wayne Rooney. I'm making like 100 grand plus a week. I was like, yes, I'm the dog's bollocks. I'm gonna get 6 million and then 10 million. And I thought it was just going to be uniform, right? Because I'd never been humbled. And then market started retracing, and then it just took me out big time. I didn't do anything. I just thought, I was in denial. I thought it was going to go back up. So went from 3 million to 2 million. Then I saw it go to 1,850,000. I remember I was on 250k, and my mum said to me, just cash out. You've still got £250,000. That's a lot of money.
10k exactly.
Yeah, but like the thing is, you just psychologically you get fucked up because you've seen that 3 million, and now you've gone to 250. You feel like a pauper. I was like, fuck, I'm poor. I've got nothing. Like, what's 250k? Like, my reality was distorted. And it went, big time. And it went to 100k, 10k, and it literally disappeared before my eyes, man. Like, it went to zero.
What time frame did that go? So what time frame from 200 to 3 million? What was that?
Yeah. That was within a few months. I think it was less than 3 months, 2 to 3 months.
3 million to zero. Fuck.
3 million to zero was weeks. I don't think.
Yeah, I can imagine that.
So I was settled at a 3.3 for a few weeks, and then it started retracing. And I'd say a month to 2 months. It was all gone back to zero.
The crazy thing is, like right now, if we talk about it, just there are so many pinpoints, right? Like I can only say that because of who I am now. Like I couldn't say that, shoulda, woulda, coulda. But you can see like taking money off of the table, just the risk management. Even if you cut out 1 million, you're still a millionaire. There's just so many things you can look at that. But let's forget that for a second. How was you fucking feeling? Shit. Like, fuck me. Even me right now thinking like you went 3 million to zero in weeks must have been. I don't even know how
Yeah.
you felt.
I didn't know how I felt. I was just in a state of shock. Like I was just staring at my screen and I was in denial. I was like, okay, I just need to borrow some more money somehow and I'll do it again. Like
Whoa.
that's what I told myself. And when we discuss further, you'll see how that basically led me to going nowhere for like 5 to 7 years. I just kept losing money. So that was my mindset. I was like, okay, I need to make it back. So I started borrowing money, and that was the worst thing I could have done. And I got into a debt spiral. So like I borrowed a lot of money from my parents. I took out bank loan. I think I had 3 bank loans from NatWest. I took out 10K and a 5K. I can't remember what the other one was.
25K in total, right? You had the 10K Tesco, then 10, and then 5, and then borrowing parents.
Yeah, but actually I paid the 10K off when I made the 3 million. That's one good thing I did. I paid off that Tesco loan straight away.
Wow, that's smart. Yeah.
Well,
smart.
That was smart.
Right? That bit was smart.
Yeah. But yeah, I was just in denial, brother, and I just started going on a debt binge. I was taking out loans, and I was losing it all as well. So I was trying to just flip accounts. Yeah, and
so painful.
Oh, it was very painful. It was very painful, man. Like I didn't change anything about my trading either, which is just the dumbest thing. I didn't,
because you made 3.3 million. Well, you didn't make it, but because you did and you didn't, if that makes sense, because you ran it to 3.3 million. And this is actually something I just kind of want to tangent off and quickly add value to the watchers right now as well. Is one of the reasons why I used to be able to do 10R or 20R trades, and right now I could still even do that because DAX recently did that. But the reason why I take profits is because what that 10R and 20R does to me, it ruins expectation, because then when you do a 2R, you feel like shit. And then when you do 10R, you feel like you can keep doing it over and over again. And I feel like that's like the most horrible spiral you can keep doing. You have this expectation that every trade can go to the moon. And then it gives you this slight, what we call insanity, right? It's doing the same thing over and over again, expecting different results. And it sounded like what you were doing, like you were trying to do the 3.3 million over and over again. And it probably drove you insane. And the thing I feel about that is I feel that pain, because I didn't know what I was doing wrong when I was in a similar situation to you. I just felt like I was doing the same shit over and over, maybe different, but the results were the fucking same. So like when you were in that, like were you just borrowing off of your parents, friends? Like how did you get out of that fucking spiral?
Yeah, like I was just borrowing. I just kept convincing them that I can turn it around, I can turn them around. I was just fucking duping them, duping myself, really. Yeah, like I was just like I say, in denial, and his definition of insanity. I was doing the same thing. I think I made a few adjustments to my trading, but it was all like on the entry side. I still didn't work on my risk management, and I was just too greedy. Like I thought, okay, I didn't get to 3 million. I'm going to get to 1 million this time. So I thought that was like a realistic goal with like a few grand, 5 grand, yeah. Yeah, it's just so dumb. And then actually I got into payday loan spiral. That's how low I got to a point where I was taking payday loans out, and payday loans aren't big. We're talking 100 quid here, 500 quid there, 1,500 quid there. And I'll just try and flip it, just go full margin and think, okay, if I just make one trade or just 2 trades in a row, I'll turn this into 10 grand and then I'll lower my risk. And you say that to yourself mentally, oh, I'm going to go like, I'll take high risk now. And then once I've made it, I'll lower the risk, but you never do. You get greedy. You're like, oh, I've doubled it. I've tripled it. Yeah, now we're going to suddenly be a good disciplined trader. No, that's not going to happen. You need to be consistent and have a trading plan, a trading system from the start. If you don't have a full trading system, and that covers your trade execution, your risk management, how are you going to exit? You don't have a journal. If you don't have all of those things, like forget it, because markets are going to humble you, man. Like 2008 was easy because we were in bull markets. The Ben Bernanke was printing money. Everything went up. Bonds, currency, stocks, it didn't matter. Everything went up. So you could be just like not know anything and still make money. And that's basically what happened to me, because I started trading then. Yeah. So you need to experience different types of markets, like bull markets, bear markets, sideways markets, before you can say that you are like a complete trader and you've seen it all. And that's going to take minimum 10 years. Like people think they can make it in 1 year or 2 years. Yeah, I've seen some people that are doing well. They've got like, they're funded. They've been trading 1 or 2 years. They're 19, 20 years old. They've had consistent payouts, but I'd say they're the exception. Most people, I'd say, need minimum 5 years experience. You need
to go through market cycles, like you said, the bull and bear, right? Even though they're profitable they're profitable in this current market and cycle. Can they withstand, the maturity, the new cycles and things like that? That's really, really important. And you can't teach that.
Yeah, you can't teach it. You have to go for it. You have to make losses. So yeah, my advice would be get consistently profitable on demo first, at least for 3 to 6 months. And then start trading live funds, or you can go the prop firm route if that's what you want to do. For me, that's like changed my life, because I got to a point after 10 years where I knew what I was doing, but I didn't have the funds to leverage that. So prop firms can really leverage your strategy. So like, I documented all of that. Obviously, I only got into prop firms in May. And then I was able to leverage my knowledge and like make 100K in 7 weeks, and all those challenges past first time. It was like a really good period for me.
I hope you guys enjoyed the interview so far. Don't forget to check out the link in the description with WChamp FX for 15% off your challenge. No time limit, and there is obviously your payouts within 24 hours. I actually requested my payout 2 hours ago. I got it straight away, so that's pretty quick. You can trade straight away after your payout as well, and there's a link in the description, so go and check out your challenges.
So then, say obviously the 5 years to 7 years, it was debt and then spiraling.
Yes.
So in my opinion, people only change when it hurts enough. So there must have been a time when, Raihan, you were probably looking yourself and you're like, I'm sick of this shit, right? Like, I need to fucking do something, because it's 7 years, 8 years. Yeah.
For me, it was when my parents kicked me out.
Oof.
Yeah. So my mum had enough, because like I said, I was in debt. I owed everyone money. And then my mum said, right, you have to leave. You got to get out. I was like, where the fuck do I go? Because I had no money, I had nothing. So yeah, that was. So I just want to say that was the best thing that ever happened to me in my life. That's when I became a man. I grew up. I grew spiritually, mentally, financially. Everything just took off for me then, because I was like, okay, I need to get my shit in order. I did have a job for a brief period of time, because obviously I had to support myself, but I was still trading, and just round the clock, I was working on my journal and getting to a point where I knew, okay, I'm going to make it. So yeah, if we just go back 2010 to like 2015, 2017 was my period of just losing money, getting into debt, tens of thousands of debt. I borrowed like 35K from my cousins, borrowed money from my partner. I'm ashamed to say it, not proud of it.
But that humbleness, let's just quickly highlight that humbleness right now. Your sharing is going to help people. Do you understand? And I love that you say you're not proud to say it, but the thing is, you did it, and that's fine. That's fine in this day and age. And this is what I mean in social media. Someone like you it needs to be more in the limelight, because we all do things that are stupid. That's fine, but you own it, and other people can learn from it. And fuck me, this is a story. But yeah, I just had to interrupt there, because I thought that was a really powerful moment that you shared, and I appreciate you sharing that.
No, it's fine. And just another thing I want to say is, like, if you truly believe you can make it, you follow your dreams, and you keep believing in yourself, because I'm the only one that believed in me. Obviously my mum kicked me out. She had lost faith in me, and you know what, if I had a son who was doing the same thing, I'd have kicked me out as well.
It must be so hard for her as well,
Yeah, of course it was, but she knew that's what she needed to do, and she did the right thing. I thank her for it.
Yeah, the worst thing is the best thing. We just don't know it at the time.
Yeah, exactly. So yeah, like, I was in an Airbnb for like 3 months. I was like sharing a house with like sofa surfers and stuff. It was horrible, mate. I hated it. So yeah, those 7 years were just losing money, but I knew I could make it. No one else believed in me. Even my girlfriend at the time, who's now my fiance, she didn't believe it. They were all like, "You need to get a job, Raihan." And what they were saying was it was smart
It was
because
true at that time.
I showed nothing to prove that I could make it from trading. It was only me who believed in me. But so that's one message I want to share with people. Obviously, you have to be smart. You can't say, "Oh, I'm going to make it. I'm going to make it," and then just like will it into existence. You have to put in the work.
Yeah.
But as soon as you start putting in that work, it will change. So what was that work for me? That was my journaling. That is what transformed me into the trader I am now. I've had my best year ever this year. I'm at my peak right now, and it's all because of the journaling. So it took me about 2 years of journaling to start becoming consistent and not losing money. So yeah, start that process as soon as you can, because I know so many people, they're erratic, they're inconsistent, and then when I ask them, do you journal, they say no, I don't journal.
Oh, important though. Journaling is, every single person who's been on this interview, every successful trader I've interviewed, journals. They all say journaling. That is literally the number one thing, because you can't manage what you don't measure. You can't measure what you don't manage. If you don't know what you're doing wrong or doing right, you can't fix it, which is why it's so important.
Yeah, 100%. So yeah, I was like in the doldrums 7 years, and then I'd say for the last 5 years is when I started getting serious.
Why did you get serious though? What was the trigger?
Um,
After your mum kicking you out,
because
then that was the reason. But then what did you do? Was it just because journaling was past 2 years? Then what happened? Was there anything in the
yeah, it was my strategy. So I worked on my strategy. I was exploring Elliott Wave, but I knew that wasn't accurate enough. That was too subjective. So I wanted to find a way to make that objective. So then that's when that led to me exploring candlestick structure, which is what I trade with now.
Yeah.
And then I used to use fibs anyway.
Yeah.
So I found a way to combine candlestick structure with fibs and tram lines, which we'll go into when we go on the charts, to come up with my strategy. So I'd say I've been working on this strategy since 2017.
Wow. 6 years.
And then for the last 3 years, I've been confident with it and I've been refining it.
Nice. And then this year, prop firms, you kind of did it. So then what happened there? So now obviously the strategy was working, it was refined, and then obviously your success now. How did that compound to your success now? What actually happened?
So that was a game changer for me. So I was on Twitter. I just used to post charts and stuff. I never knew anything about prop firms, and I started seeing all these people like Paladin and these guys, because they're like the OGs of prop firms, right? They've been doing it like since 2019, 18. They've been doing it for quite some time. And I used to see these payouts that they're posting, and I used to be like, this sounds too good to be true, man. Like, this can't be real. I thought it was a scam. I thought it's not real. I was like, if I can utilize this, I was like, this is like robbing a bank for someone like me. I was like,
now you're doing it.
I'm going to rob the bank, man. Is this real? And then in end of April, May, I started taking challenges, just smaller challenges, because I wanted to see if it was real, because I still wasn't sure. And then, I got 700K of funding.
Wow.
Within like a month, 6 weeks. I was doing them all like staggered, but I bought them all within 4 weeks of each other.
Did you link them, or did you trade them separately?
Oh no! So then I didn't know anything about trade copiers, so I was going crazy. I was like headless chicken.
Just like go for the position here.
Yeah. Like I'd never used MT4, MT5, because in UK, like we spread better, we trade CFDs. It's really easy here. I saw MT4, MT5. I was like, what the hell's this, man? This looks so. It's like made by coders for coders. So I had to get used to that. So it was all new to me. And then I passed like 700K challenges. I actually got to 2.1 million because I had like 400Ks from BFP as well, but I never made it to pay out on them. So that 100K I made was just on 700K of funding, even though I was 2 million funded.
Damn.
So it was really.
You're funded with us quite early on as well, weren't you?
Yeah. So my funded FX, I had 250K. I merged them, so I had 250K with my funded FX, and I got 3 payouts with them in 7 weeks. So I think I made 30K. I got 16K, about 10, a 9, and then a 5. So about 30K over 3 payouts.
What about total now?
Still 30K from my funded FX.
You're doing the audit challenges. You've just passed them all again, haven't you?
Yeah. So after that 100K, full disclosure, I made 105K in July. So I risk 2% a trade because I swing trade and I'm only in one.
It takes longer.
1 to 2 trades a week. Like me risking 0.25% or 0.5%, like it's just going to take too long. I'm never going to make any money. So I risk more, but then my win rate's like 65% usually and above. So I had a really good run. That's why I was able to make so much money so quickly, because I risked 2%. But then in sort of during the month of September, I had my worst run I've ever had. And I had like a string of 7-8 losses in a row, which I haven't had since, like, I can't remember when. And because I risk 2% a trade, obviously if I get 5 losing trades in a row, I've lost the account. I've lost 10%. So I lost all my funding. But it's okay, because I got all my my challenges in like one go, and I made 100K on it. Like, I didn't fail any challenges then. I have failed a few challenges since, not going to lie, but that's because that run. So I had 8-9 losses in a row. So I lost 5 losses. That was all my, and I was trading all my accounts the same, because I was leveraging them all the same. So I lost all the accounts, and then obviously, like, I had another 3 or 4 losses. So if you're trading 2%, I blew like my first round of challenges. And then I bought another round of challenges. I've got a shitload of challenges right now.
I know. I just seeing you send them in the chat, like passing.
Yeah, so I've got like 850K I've just passed in 1 week.
Congrats.
Thank you. So yeah, I've got max funding this time with my funded FX.
Woohoo!
Yeah, got 250.
What's the total if you pass everything? Because I know you've got a few more in the background.
Yeah, so they're all on my copier. So I've got 850K passed, and like all the other ones are in stage 2. So I could get over 3 million.
Wow. So let's just quickly highlight some things, because I want to highlight some things that you talked here, and I want people to learn. It's like right now you had that losing period, but you seemed unfazed and slightly unfazed, because like I know it's 8 losing streaks, but at the same time you're like, just go again. And you've got that from all the lessons you've learned in the years in the past. Now, I really want people to understand, like, your down period right now and your journey right now is what you need in order to shape to who you need to become. You can't just get there. Do you know what I mean? You have to actually go through all this down period because of your story and how, like, it must have been super tough. I'm not even going to sugarcoat it. It must have been fucking unreal, losing 3 million, doing that, and then debt, and then, you know, your mum kicking you out. The amount of emotions, the amount you've had to go through. But the thing is, you had faith and you believed in yourself and you kept going. And then now God has blessed you right now. So all of these things that you've had in all that period have really, really, it can just show, the qualities can all show right now, which is why you're passing them. You're nearly 3 million funded. You can get more, and then next year is going to be even a bigger year, because now you're not chasing the money. You didn't blow your accounts and then just kept going and going and going and going. You just took it methodically. You believed in the process, and that's why it's coming in your favor. So for everyone, you just got to make sure that you stick to the process, have faith, but don't rush it as well, and don't make these big mistakes that can cost you. Because Raihan's really, really kindly jumped on this interview, so you guys can learn from him and learn from his mistakes, so we can avoid doing them. So, bro, you fucking proudest ass moment, man. You're about to do nearly 3 million funded, 850K back up, and 100K in payouts in 1 week. So, what's after this? So, once you get through, I mean, you're just going to carry on trading. Do you have any goals?
So, I think I've changed a few. So, my outlook has changed after having those 5 losses and losing the accounts. My goal now is to just scale and get as much funding as possible, and then maybe trade a little lower risk.
That's what I do.
Yeah. So we were talking about this. So my goal now is to keep the funded accounts for as long as possible and hit scaling. I want to hit scaling programs, because I was talking to Kyle, Jade Cap, and that's what he does. And I think that's like, I never thought about it from that. I never approached it like that before. My approach was always, just get the biggest payout possible. And if you lose the account, you can just do a challenge and get it again. But I think it's a lot long term. It's a lot wiser. And for a track record, if you do want to go get that private capital, build your funding, show you can keep an account, hit scaling, get that your account scaled by 20, 30, 40%, whatever it may be. And then that will stand you in good stead for building a track record as well. So, you know, I started a DarwinX Zero account now.
Nice.
You just mentioned private capital. So I had 2 meetings with when I was in Dubai with people, and I managed to, we're in talks right now. I'm trading on simulation for one fund right now. They're based in Dubai. I'm in talks with another guy over trading his capital. We're just going over the terms at the moment. And then I'm trading for another firm that you put me on.
Yeah.
So I'm on trial for that.
Yeah.
That's going well as well. So yeah, that's three like private
Crazy.
funds there potentially, and that's all come about just because of props. So it's opened me to new opportunity. And that's through my social media presence and showing what I can do through payouts on prop firms. So
it's amazing.
Again, you can turn your life around. And just going back to like the string of losses I had to lose on my funded accounts, like I didn't just do the same thing again. I did go back to my journal and I refined and I get better. I always say to people, like, every week I'm getting better. I'm not the same trader I was last week or a month ago or the month before that. I'm always getting better. Like, that's why I always say I'm the best trader I am right now. And next week I'll be the best trader I am. So yeah, keep refining, keep adjusting, go back test, do your journaling, and just get better, because the markets change. They're not always exactly the same. They rhyme. Yes. They don't repeat exactly, but like history rhymes.
Yes.
So yeah, just keep getting better, and then the opportunities will come from that. And that's what's happening right now. So in terms of future plans, just get as much capital as possible, private capital, props, and just trade smartly, trade wisely, build a track record, and then I'm sure more will come from that. Like for me, everything comes back to my trading. I always say, if my trading's going well, everything will come because of that. Like I don't go chasing.
That's your soul. That's your passion.
Yeah. Like we were just talking in the WhatsApp group, like, people saying, oh, like mentorships, this person's doing $1 million a month, this person's doing this. And I started thinking, like, fuck, I was like actually starting to get anxious and thinking, oh, what am I doing wrong? But I just had to take a step back, and I'm like, Raihan, you're not doing anything wrong. Don't compare yourself to others.
Yeah.
Everything will fall in its place when it's meant to happen.
Yeah.
And that's just the way I'm going to keep playing.
You versus you, me versus me, bro. That's it.
Exactly. You versus you, me versus me. If someone's doing $1 million month mentorships, like, yeah, good on them.
Good for you. Yeah.
Good for you. If I can might make 500K a month one day trading. I don't know. Who knows?
It's possible. It's very, very possible. On, you know what I mean? On 5 million, that's 10%. On 50 million, that's 1%. So it really depends on what scalability and what level it is. And look, at the end of the day, don't forget, this is the whole concept of you versus you, me versus me. I would much rather do like 100K or even 50K of something I love and I have a passion for, then do 1 million of something that I don't enjoy, that I don't like waking up for, and don't actually have fun with. Because don't forget, your work and your passion is your life. And the thing is, if you have to wake up and you don't enjoy your life, then what's the point of living? Do you know what I mean? I'd much rather earn less and do that. And the thing is, you can live a very comfortable lifestyle with very, very small amount of money. It's all the materialistic things and all of that. It's great and it's fun. And providing for your family is the number one thing. But at the same time, you've got to do what's right for you and do what kind of means to you, right? You versus you, me versus me. So
yeah, that's
kind of.
Yeah, go on.
Sorry, just going to quickly say on the funding thing as well. Finally, I really agree what you said with preserving the capital, because one thing I hate is doing challenges. They just piss me off. They're so long, bro. They're such a long process. So now I want to just keep them as long as possible, so I don't have to fucking do those challenges again.
Yeah, like I went from July to now not getting a payout. So it's like, I'm like, fuck, I need some payouts, man.
Dubai was expensive.
yeah, I need to make that money back. So yeah, I'm not gonna. There's a few ways you can approach it. Maybe trade like half the accounts, one higher risk, half the accounts lower risk. You can trade them all together. You can just lower your risk on all of them. I'm still like thinking exactly how I'm going to do it. But one thing I don't want to do again is lose it all.
Lose them all.
So lose it all in one go.
And I can't really do that. I've come to terms with it. I thought about it so many ways. I rotate them, but also I don't feel like that's enough. So what I've now done is I've done 3 ways. So I put some in reserve, so no matter what, I'm going to get paid. And then I'm going to rotate 2. So I link them all, but I'll rotate them in 2 in batches. So once I get, my goal is like 3 million. So then I'll leave 1 million like parked, and then I'll just keep rotating 1 million and getting payouts. Because at the end of the day, look, 10% is 100K. If I could just keep doing 10% I don't even care if it's 4 quarters, I do 10%. There's no rush. That's still 400K a year. That's more than enough. Do you know what I mean? I don't like, great if other people are doing loads of money, who cares? But I think that just keeps me mentally stable, because then I've always got reserved funds. I've always got reserve capitals, and I have to carry on doing challenges. I'm still getting payouts. If I'm in drawdown, I can rotate, and it just protects me a lot. But Carl just does 0.25% across all of them and just does not give a fuck.
Yeah, but he's got like 5 million, so he's
got 5 million, yeah.
Because then he knows he's never like he can get out a drawdown. He's never going to lose like 10% of his account with 0.25%.
Yeah.
So he's smart, but that works for me. That would only work, if I had like 5, 6, 7, 8 million.
You're not far though. You're not far, right?
Yeah,
3 million.
Yeah, we'll see. Yeah, it could have like another 1 million or 1.5 million coming through in the next few weeks.
Woohoo.
Yeah, we're on stage 2s on them, so
amazing.
Inshallah.
Right. So what did you do? We'll finalize these up with some quick fire questions on your funded into Inspire. So what did you do with your funded payouts, your 100K?
Oh, my 100K. So my first treat was actually, I got a really nice, expensive aftershave from Selfridges. So back in May before prop, I couldn't justify it. It was £250. So for me, that's a lot of money.
What'd you buy?
It was Roger, Elysium Roger.
I've not heard of that.
Yeah. Really nice.
Congrats.
Yeah.
Meaningful as well, right?
Sorry?
It's meaningful.
Yeah. So like before May, I was like, I wanted to buy it, and we went on holiday to Italy, and I was like to my partner, I can't afford it. It's too much.
Oh.
I can't justify £250 on an aftershave. And then obviously like after the payout, like first or two, second payout came, I treated myself. I got that. Got a pair of Oliver People sunglasses. They were like £300 or £400.
Nice.
And treated me and my other half to a meal at Novikov. So yeah,
that's the best one.
Yeah, I love Novikov. It's like once a year for me. So bloody expensive.
Yeah.
What else? Yeah, and then like obviously I hired the car in Dubai. Oh, I treated myself to business class on the flight to Dubai.
How was that? Did you? I completely forgot to ask.
Yeah, I loved it, man.
It's cool, isn't it?
Yeah, I slept like a baby on the way back.
Yeah, the chauffeur is cool. The experience is cool. The lounges, the whole experience just makes you. I don't know about you, but I was very emotional on my first go. I just felt like I've come a long way. Well done, Dan. Like, and that's the same for you, man. You've come a long way, and you must be proud of yourself, bro.
Yeah, it was a treat. It was a treat, man. Yeah, very proud.
Oh my bro. Then My Funded FX. How have you found it, and would you recommend it to everyone who's watching?
100%. Like going back to the first time when I had the 250K, the thing that's always impressed me with them is like I wanted to. So I had a 200 and a 50K. I got them merged. I emailed support. Mm-hmm. And like, even if you email them, I think it was like 2, 3 in the morning, and I got a response back like 30, 45 minutes later. Yeah. I forgot what her name is. Is it Yasmin or
Yas? Yeah. She still works. She's really, really, really fast.
Yeah, she's amazing, man. Just they respond to you within like the hour. Like, their support's incredible. Payouts are very quick. I think as soon as you request a payout, I think they reset your balance and you can start trading straight away. I love that, because some firms you have to wait till you've got the payout, and that's annoying. So you might have to wait 24, 48 hours. Trading conditions are great, like executions are great. There's no slippage, good fills. Payouts are very quick. Like, they are one of the top firms. They're up there.
Heard it yourself. So if you want to copy your challenge, WChampFX for 15% off. Link in the description. I don't even have to plug it. Raihan has just sold it for me. Yeah, that is absolutely wicked. So before we go on to part 2, Raihan, I just want to say, do you have anything else you want to finish off with? And also, where can people find you?
So you can find me on X at the Eurotrader1. All my links are in there, my link tree. So I've got like a free community where I engage with people every day. So I'm approachable. And then, if you want to ask me anything, just ask me on there and I'll help you. So what was the question?
The other question was just if there was any final things you wanted to say after the interview. Well, I mean, I appreciate you taking the time out to do this. And I'm sure loads of people have learned. But if there was any final messages you had for the people.
I've trodden the path you've been on. I know people struggle and they think they're not going to make it. I didn't, it took me over 10 years to become successful. So, you can do it in 5 years, maybe seek out a mentor. You can cut that time in half, do the right things, do your journaling, and you will reduce that time that it takes to become consistent. People do it in like 1 or 2 years now. I'm not saying that'll apply to you, but give yourself the time, seek out a mentor, and there's so much resources out there, people that can help you. Now it's like it's the golden era of retail trading. Like, you've never had it so good. I never had. If I had it, if there was this help around when maybe I was younger, maybe I wouldn't have taken me 10 years. So just, follow people like Dan, myself, and just seek out help. That's what we're here for.
We're here to help, bro. Thank you so much for this part 1. So guys, make sure you stay tuned. We've got part 2 now, where Ryan's actually going to break down 2 trays back to back. So just remember to like, share, and subscribe.
So I hope you guys enjoyed that interview. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. And don't forget, we have another 25k challenges given away. So 10 of them. So comment below what you have learned. Reply to the tweet in the pinned comments that you did comment and you watched the whole interview. And then last but not least, let us know what kind of feedback you kind of learned from Euro. So I say the Euro trader, Raihan is his name, because he trades Euro and is Euro trader everywhere. I'm going to call him the Euro soon. So what have you mainly learned from him? I think that's the most important thing, because these interviews are great and they're great content and education and entertainment, but there are real nuggets to help you guys to become a better trader overall. So good luck on the giveaways, and see you in the next video. Champ out. Peace.